What would you do if you found a camera in the woods? Abandoned, battered, with footage that shouldn't exist. Would you watch it? Or would you leave it where it lay, praying whatever left it there doesn't come looking? Oh. Welcome back to Friday 13, the channel where we chase the shadows and dig up the nightmares you can't unsee. Oh. If you're here, you're not just browsing. You're one of us, drawn to the dark, craving that rush of fear that makes your heart skip. This video, it's for you. Yes, you, sitting there right now, maybe with the curtains drawn, maybe wondering if the woods outside your window are as safe as they seem. Tonight, we're heading into Yellowstone, a place of beauty by day and terror by night. This isn't just a story. It's a glimpse into something real, something caught on tape. So, settle in, turn up the volume, and let's uncover what happened to the camper who never came back. Oh, before we dive in, let me plant a seed in your mind. Something to carry with you as we go. Imagine you're out there, deep in the wilderness, miles from help, with nothing but a tent and a camera. The fire's dying, the night's closing in, and you hear it, a sound that doesn't belong. Not an animal, not the wind, but something watching. What would you do? Would you grab that camera and hit record, hoping to prove you're not crazy? Or would you run, leaving everything behind? Hold on to that, because tonight, you're about to meet someone who chose to film, and what they captured might just change how you see the wild forever. This is where it begins. Meet Sarah, a solo camper, 28 years old. The kind of person some of you might relate to. She's an adventurer, a nature lover, armed with a backpack, a tent, and her trusty GoPro. Yellowstone's her playground. Geysers, hot springs, endless trails. She's been planning this trip for months, documenting every step for her vlog. Picture this. It's July, the air is warm, and the park's alive with birdsong and the hum of summer. Sarah sets up camp in a remote spot off the main trails. Legal, but isolated, just how she likes it. The footage starts normal, her smiling at the camera, unpacking her gear, talking about the stars she'll see tonight. What? It's peaceful, almost cozy. But there's something in the frame, something she doesn't notice. A shadow at the edge of the trees, too tall, too still. You see it, don't you? Right there, watching her. Night falls, and Sarah's still filming. Little updates for her followers. Her voice bright against the crackling fire. The woods are quiet now, too quiet. Like the animals know something she doesn't. She pans the camera around, showing off the darkness beyond the firelight, joking about bears. But then, listen closely, you hear it. A twig snaps, sharp and deliberate, just outside the glow. Sarah freezes, her laugh dying mid-sentence. She swings the camera toward the sound, and there's nothing, just trees and shadows. Probably a deer, she says, but her voice shakes. And here's your first hook, straight from Sarah to you. What would you do if you heard that snap? Alone in the wild. Would you stay put? Or would you start packing? The next clip's where it turns. It's past midnight, and Sarah's awake, wide awake. She's whispering to the camera now, her breath fogging in the cold. I heard it again, she says. Closer, this time. The mic picks up faint rustling outside, like something circling the tent. She doesn't move, doesn't dare zip the flap, but you can see it in her eyes, that primal fear kicking in, the kind you feel when you're not the top of the food chain anymore. The rustling stops, and for a moment, she relaxes. Then, bam, a low guttural growl rumbles through the tent, so deep it shakes the camera. Sarah gasps, fumbles the GoPro, and the screen goes black. When it comes back, she's trembling, whispering, "That wasn't a bear. That wasn't anything I know." Here's where the tension cranks up, and where you might start feeling that chill yourself. Sarah's outside the tent now, camera in hand, shining its weak light into the dark. She's whispering, "I have to see what it is." Brave, right? Or maybe stupid. The woods are pitch black, the kind of dark that swallows you whole. She sweeps the light across the trees, and there, a pair of eyes flash back, bright and unblinking, too high off the ground for a wolf or a cougar. They vanish before she can focus. Her breathing's ragged now, the camera shaking as she backs toward the tent. Then she stops, dead still, because she hears it, a voice, faint and raspy, calling her name. Sarah. Not from the trees, but from behind her. And here's your next hook. What's out there, calling her by name? Is it human? Or something pretending to be? The next clip's a mess. Literally. The camera's fallen, lens cracked, pointing at Sarah's tent. It's torn open, flaps flapping, in a wind that wasn't there before. Her gear's scattered. Backpack, boots, everything. But she's gone. The fire's out, just cold ash now, and the woods are silent again. Too silent. You can hear the camera's mic straining, picking up something. A low hum, like a chant, rising and falling. It's not wind, not an animal. It's deliberate, coming from everywhere and nowhere. Then, footsteps. Slow, heavy, circling the camp. The camera catches a shadow, long, thin, impossibly tall, stretching across the tent. It pauses, then moves out of frame. The footage runs for another minute, just that empty camp, that hum, until the battery dies. Oh, close. 3 days later, rangers found Sarah's camp, or what was left of it. The tent, the gear, the camera, but no Sarah. No tracks, no blood, no sign of a struggle beyond the mess on that tape. They chalked it up to a bear attack. But the footage? What? That's harder to explain. They uploaded it online, hoping someone might recognize her stuff. And it spread. Hikers, campers, people like you, dissecting every frame. Some say it's a hoax. Others swear they've heard that hum in Yellowstone themselves. And here's another hook for you. What took Sarah? Was it something natural, or something that's still out there, waiting for its next shot on camera? No one's found Sarah, or her body. The footage ends where we left it, but the story doesn't. Campers in Yellowstone still talk about it. Whispers of a presence in the woods, a voice that knows your name, a shadow that doesn't fit. Maybe it's just a tale to scare newbies. Or maybe, next time you're out there, tent pitched, fire low, you'll hear it too. That hum, your name on the wind. And here's the final hook, just for you. What if that camera's still out there, recording something new? What if it's waiting for someone, maybe you, to pick it up and press play? That's all for night, you brave souls. If Sarah's story got your blood pumping, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you're locked in for our next dive into the dark. Tell us in the comments. Would you watch that footage if you found it? This is Friday 13, where the wild hides more than you know. Sleep tight, and maybe skip that camping trip.